You were dreaming. What's your name?
What's up guys, it's Ponty here. Today I decided I'd bring you a video about how to make a good melee character in Morrowind. Something I've talked to a lot of people about that have played, say, just Oblivion and or Skyrim, is that the melee mechanics in Morrowind are hard to get your head around, because even if you hit them with your weapon, there's still a roll to hit and then a roll for them to evade. So I worked out a nice and fun way to make a character that's got a really high chance to hit in melee, can move quickly, which is another issue in Morrowind since there's no fast travel from the world map, and that you can generally have a good time in Morrowind with. So let's get started. I'll just put in my name.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake.
I'm using the Morrowind graphics overhaul, which is
I'm sure
very nice. It's a very big improvement on the original, which came out in, I think, 2002.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
You better do what they say.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
Okay, so here you're going to want to pick Redguard, since they've got a massive plus 15 boost to their Longblade skill. They also start with a good strength, agility and endurance, which is what you want for a melee character. If you only played Skyrim, in the previous Elder Scrolls games they had a bunch of statistics like strength, endurance, agility, speed, etc, etc. I'll go through those a bit more later, so I'll just change up the face a little bit. That'll do.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
So having a high Longblade skill is a huge boost for us, because the main governing thing on how much you hit with melee weapons is your skill in using that weapon. So Longblade covers anything from longswords, broadswords, katanas, sabers, claymores, daikatanas. I think that's it, yeah. I haven't played Morrowind for a while, so...
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
So here you'll want to fill out the forms yourself, because we're creating a custom class. Your specialization will be combat, because that increases all combat skills, including Longblade. So your favorite attributes will be strength, which affects your starting health, your carry weight, which is very important, because in Morrowind, how fast you move is based on how much you're carrying out of your total carry weight. Your maximum fatigue. Fatigue is extremely important in melee combat, and just combat in general in Morrowind, and how much damage you deal in melee, which, since we're playing a melee character, is very important. So here you'll want to pick agility, which increases your chance to hit in melee, your chance to dodge other people's attacks in melee, and your maximum fatigue. Some people might tell you to choose luck instead of strength, but I did the calculations, and at maximum fatigue, having luck as a favorite attribute would increase your hit chance by 1%. So that's not a huge deal. So for your major skills, you'll want to choose Longblade, and then just whatever you want for the rest of them. So I'll go with Armorer. Athletics, because it increases how fast I move. choose block if I want to use a shield, and medium armor, because I'll pick some of that up later. Now for minor skills, you'll want to go with unarmored, which increases your armor rating when you're not wearing any armor. Now this is an interesting skill because with the armor degradation in Morrowind, if your equipment breaks on a certain piece, it starts using your unarmored skill instead of the armor value, which is very handy if you're not anywhere near where you can repair equipment. And early on, unarmored's very useful because you don't have to spend lots of your gold on armor, and you move around very quickly because you don't have any very heavy armor in your inventory. So I'll grab that, security, sneak, acrobatics, and speechcraft. Okay, so let's get going.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Okay, so here you choose your star sign, which, if you've only played Skyrim, is very similar to the Standing Stones. Now you'll want to go with the Warrior, which increases your attack stat by 10 points. That's basically a flat 10% more chance to hit, which is pretty significant. If you like, you can go with the Steed, which makes you move significantly faster, but I'm going to use the Warrior for this example, since it's all about hitting people lots in melee combat.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Alright, so have you look at my final stats. I've got 50 Longblade, which is extremely high. 60 Strength, which is pretty high again. Intelligence and Willpower are pretty irrelevant because we're not using magic. Agility's high. Speed's pretty average. Endurance is high. Personality's kinda low. And every race starts with the same luck. So that looks right, so we'll continue.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
So grabbing these papers. Now, some people have, or a lot of people have heard of this, but here's something you can do to make a bit of money early on. Now you'll see this platter is worth 650 gold. That's pretty significant. So if I pick this up, and then quickly drop it before the guard comes over.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celisgravius.
And he can't arrest me because this is right at the beginning of the game. But now, if I pick it up again, it's fine. So that's an easy amount of gold early on. So we'll just continue through here. Just skip the basic combat tutorial. Grab the stuff out of this barrel. There's a neat magical ring in here. Now I'll just quickly skim through this conversation, since if you've played Morrowind before, you probably know what he's saying.
Your papers, please.
And if you haven't played Morrowind before, I won't spoil it for you.
Let's hear it.
Right, so the first thing you'll want to do is go up to the shop in the starting town of Sadanim and purchase a long blade of your choice that you can afford. Iron Claymore is usually a good way to go. I can't remember exactly what he's got, but depending if you took the platter or not, you might be able to buy something more expensive. So I'll sell the platter, which gives me 265 gold, and I'll have a look at his wares. Alright, so he's got an iron broadsword, an iron claymore. Yeah, that's about it for stuff we can use, so I'll buy the claymore. But that down all the time a little bit. And I'll equip that. So just to demonstrate what I've been talking about all this time, we'll head over to a bandit cave right near town.
I'm waiting.
And see how we do against the bandits in there. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but I did the calculations, and you have a 90% chance to hit at full stamina. Which brings me to my next point, stamina or fatigue. I keep getting them mixed up because I've been playing so much Skyrim. So fatigue is a hugely important thing in Morrowind, managing it. It's used by jumping, attacking, and running, which is quite annoying when you're traveling long distances, as it decreases your chance to hit, your chance to dodge, your rate of success when casting spells, which is kind of irrelevant for this guy, but as well as the amount of damage you do with melee attacks. So in combat, I usually walk instead of running. So easy, 2 hits. That's pretty accurate, because on top of my 90% chance to hit, they've also got a chance to dodge. So and you don't want to just like spam away in combat, because that'll drain your fatigue very quickly. It's easy 2 hits. I can hit most of the time, which is a lot more fun than missing most of the time, as with most starting characters. And one other thing, if you're new to Morrowind, is that even like random crates like this can have valuable stuff in them. So make sure you check all of them. Anyway, so I think that's about it. So this sort of thing works as a Bosmer as well, or Wood Elf, because they start with a plus 15 archery boost, so you choose the stealth specialization instead of combat, obviously, and have marksman as your major skill instead of longblade. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I might be bringing you more Morrowind and Oblivion stuff in the future. Thanks again.